ZK ERP is a complete ERP solution, including accounting, purchase, sales, inventory management, manufacturing, and all other necessary functions required for a business organization. ZK ERP can enter and view information in both English and Arabic. Important functions associated with inventory or stock management are item information, inventory adjustment, physical count, barcode generation, and various reports associated with the above functions. Item information can be maintained from business, inventory, item definition menu option. It can also create directly from purchase order or sales order screens. Items in ZK ERP are mainly classified into physical or stock items and service or consumables. Service or consumable items are also called non-stock items. For stock items, stock status is maintained based on the receiving and issue of items. Average cost is computed for those items. But for non-stock items, at the time of purchase itself it is considered as expenses. Stock status is not maintained. Under the groups of stock items and non-stock items, items can further classify into different categories. Under the category, the individual items are defined. There is no specific rules for coding the items in ZK ERP, other than it should be a number and not exceeding 12 characters. In addition to item code, there is an alternate item code is available, mainly for entering international barcode or supplier item code, which can be up to 100 characters. There is a short name for the item, which can be up to 100 characters. A detailed description is also available, which can be up to 2,000 characters. The unit of measure, like kilogram or meter, is not predefined in ZK ERP. User can define any number of units of measures. There are two price lists available, sales price and purchase price. Inventory adjustment is required at many times, including entering opening balance, correcting stock for any damage or missing items, etc. Inventory adjustment transactions can be inserted in ZK ERP using the menu option Business, Inventory Adjustment. An adjustment transaction can be added by clicking Add New in the transaction screen from Business, Inventory Adjustment menu option. Unposted transactions can be edited, printed, or posted by clicking the Edit button against any transaction. Posted transaction can be seen or printed by clicking against the View button against the transaction. In one transaction, multiple inventory lines can be entered. If it is a downward adjustment, negative quantity can be entered, and if it is an upward adjustment, positive quantity can be entered. One account need to be selected to update the effective inventory adjustment. Mostly this will be a cost of revenue account or an expense account. Unposted transactions can be edited, printed, or posted by clicking the Edit button against any transaction. Posted transaction can be seen or printed by clicking against the View button against the transaction. On clicking the Print button on the top of the screen, inventory adjustment can be printed. By selecting a suitable option from the Action button and clicking Go button, an inventory adjustment can be posted. When making an upward adjustment, it will debit the inventory account for the selected warehouse for which the adjustment is made, and credit the selected account as we discussed. If it is downward adjustment, it will credit the inventory account for the selected warehouse for which the adjustment is made, and debit the selected account as we discussed. The inventory adjustment finance transaction can be seen from the Report, Finance, Journal Voucher menu option. Physical count is normally made for a warehouse on a periodic basis like daily, weekly, monthly, or at the end of the year. Physical count transactions can be inserted in ZK ERP using the menu option Business, Inventory, Physical Count. Physical count can be viewed for a posted transaction. clicking against the View button for a physical count transaction, and clicking the Edit button for an unposted transaction. For adding a new transaction, Add New button can be clicked. For a new transaction, on selecting suitable options like account to which the amount need to be adjusted, warehouse, etc., an Insert button will appear. Clicking on the Insert All items in the warehouse will be displayed with item code, description, the balance quantity is per the system, and count quantity filled by the same system quantity. If the count quantity is different from the system quantity, only the quantity which is different only need to be updated in the system. Unposted transactions can be edited, printed, or posted by clicking the Edit button against any transaction. Posted transaction can be seen or printed by clicking against the View button against the transaction. On clicking the Print button on the top of the screen, physical count with variance report can be printed. By selecting a suitable option from the Act button and clicking Go button, and physical count can be posted. When the count quantity is more than the system quantity, it will update the inventory transaction for the adjustment as well as substitute the system quantity with the count quantity. It will also update account counts by debiting the inventory account for the selected warehouse for which the adjustment is made, and credit the selected account as we discussed. If the count quantity is less than, it will update the inventory transaction for the adjustment as well as substitute the system quantity with the count quantity. It will also update accounts by crediting the inventory account for the selected warehouse for which the adjustment is made, and debit the selected account as we discussed. The inventory adjustment finance transaction can be seen from the Report, Finance, Journal Voucher menu option. Printing barcode for sticking to the item for reading by point of sale system or physical count handheld terminal is a normal requirement in most of the organizations. Barcodes are normally printed using a thermal printer. Barcode printing can be made in ZK ERP using the menu option Business, Inventory, Generate Barcode menu option. The items for which the barcode to be generated and the number of barcodes need to be printed can be entered. On clicking Print option on the top of the screen, all items entered with the number of barcodes will be printed as PDF file, which can be printed to the barcode printer. Perhaps the most important item in inventory management is the stock status of each items in a warehouse. Warehouse can be a shop or a restaurant, wherever stock of items need to be maintained. ZK ERP provide a hyperlink stock status of every item. On selecting the menu option, Reports, Inventory, Stock Status, the report will display the stock status of each of the items. A hyperlink is available on the item code. Clicking on any item, the warehouse in which the stock is available will be displayed. On clicking on the hyperlink on warehouse, the transaction related to that item will be displayed to verify how the stock has arrived. Inventory movement report shows the receipts and issue of certain item with opening and closing stock position for certain item. On selecting the menu option, Reports, Inventory, Inventory Movement, the report will display opening stock, receipt, issue, balance quantity, and the cost of the balance quantity for the selected period for all items in the warehouse. This report will be very useful to see the fast-moving or slow-moving items to manage the business.